All right, welcome back. Now, in this particular tutorial, we're going to see some more basic text processing over here. Okay, so we're going to see some of the things that we use, some of the things that we do when we have a text data. Okay, before moving on to do anything more advanced. All right, so let's get started over here. So first thing, what I'm going to do in this particular notebook is that we have what is called routers, okay, which is present in NLTK. And routers is nothing but it's a news feed, okay, mainly covering business news. All right, it's already inbuilt in NLTK for us, right, which is a full, a huge text over there which you can use in in your learning process, right? It's actually a news feed. All right, so that's what I'm going to download for this kind of text processing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do nltk.download. Right, after I have imported it, I'm doing nltk.download and I'm downloading the routers. Once I do that, then I do from nltk.corpus import routers. Okay, remember routers will become our data set, which is also referred to as the corpus. All right. So now once I run that one, then everything is going to be downloaded for us, right? Downloading package routers to, and then the place that is downloading it to. Okay. Then once it's ready, you see this message, the package routers is already up to date, okay, because I've already downloaded it. All right. Now I'm going to show you all the file IDs, okay, all the file IDs that are in that in the corpus. Okay, so routers, remember that routers has become our corpus. Okay, that is, it has become our data set. All right, so all the file IDs in our data set is what I'm showing you over here. Okay, so we have test / 14.8.26, right, 14.8.28, 14.8.29, all the way to the last file over there. So we have a couple of files, right, quite a lot of them, right? So it's quite huge. Okay, it's quite huge. So that's why we say that a corpus consists of several documents. Okay, so that's why you see that over there. All right, now I'm going to show you the various categories that we have. Okay, as I said, it's a news feed. Okay, so news is mainly having different categories. If it's general news feed, like say New York Times, you will see something like say sports, healthcare, business news, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in this business news feed, we also have categories in there, right? So if you run this, you see that there are a lot of categories in there. So there are stories that cover say barley, bob, cacao, castor oil, cocoa, coconut oil, coffee, and so on and so forth. Okay, quite a lot of categories in there. All right, so if you want to see the categories, you just use routers.categories. All right, then here, then over here you can see that I'm checking the field IDs for specific, for specific categories. So for wheat and then for rice. All right, so for file IDs for wheat and then rice. Okay, so if I run this one, right, so see that we have, these are the file IDs that we have wheat and rice over there. Okay, file IDs that we have wheat and then rice over there. And it's possible that some file IDs will overlap or some file IDs will appear more than 2 times, because it's possible that wheat news are covered in different categories, in different fields. Okay, wheat news are covered in different fields on the same time. Also, rice news will be covered in different times. Okay, so it's possible that some of them will appear more than once. So these are, where we have wheat and rice. You can change it to see maybe where we have something like say soy meal, right? Something like that, or maybe soybean. Let's check soy meal, right? Let's check wheat and then soy meal. Right? Let's put that one there, and then we're gonna see. So these are, fields where, these are files where we have wheat and then soy meal. That you can check for one if you want. You can just check for only one and then see where you find them. Okay, so these are fields, files where we have soya meal news in there. Okay, all right, so now here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check the number of characters, right, the words, and also the the sentences that are there in each of the files. Okay, in each of the files. So I'm doing nltk.download and I'm downloading the packed, okay, over here. And after that, I'm doing for file ID in the routers dot file IDs. So I'm going to check for file ID where we have wheat and then rice present. And once I find them, I'm going to check for each of the characters. Okay, so routers.raw file ID is going to give me each of the characters, and I'm storing it in the number of characters. And then routers.words, right, is going to give me the number of words that I have in my, in the file, right, which contains wheat and rice. And also the number of sentences, okay. So routers.send is going to give me the number of sentences in there, right. And then for the vocabulary, it's going to be the unique, right, the unique words that I have in over there, the unique words that I have. So the words can repeat over and over again. For instance, wheat can appear so many times in there. But if you want to check the unique words, then wheat should come just once. Okay, so that will form the vocabulary. Remember, the vocabulary is nothing but the unique words that we have in our corpus, right, or our data set. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing. And then after that, I'm just printing all of them for you to see. Number of characters, number of words, number of sentences, number of vocabulary, which I have stored over here. Okay. So if I run this one, right, so this is what we have. So we have 958 characters, right, in the first file. Okay, in the first file here, we have 958 characters. We have 184 words in there. Okay, 184 number of words in there, and then 7 sentences in there, and 103 unique words in there. Okay, 103 unique words in there. So we have 184 words that are there, which some of them are repeating over and over again. But for unique words, we have 103. Okay, and then we have 7 sentences with 958 characters. All right, so for each of the files, we've been able to count them. All right, this is a very important skill to have, right? This is very important. Later on, when we get to put all of them together to start to do some projects, you're going to understand why we need to do all these kind of things. All right. Now the next thing, let me actually close this one, so that I have space here. Right. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select one file for further processing. Okay, so I'm selecting this file, which is nothing but text 15618, right? You can just select any file that you want. Okay, I'm just selecting that particular file, but you can just select any of the files over here. Okay, so once I select that file, I'm checking the raw, which is going to give me what is inside that file. Okay, so routers.raw is going to give me what is inside that file. And once I run that one, you see that these are the things that are inside there, right? So the topic of remember I told you this is a news feed. Okay, so the topic of the news feed here is French free market cereal export based detailed. Okay, that's the caption or the topic. Okay, and then inside that we have a couple of things that they have written, right? French operators have requested licenses to export 320,000 tons of free market barley, 225,000 tons of maize, 25,000 tons of free market bread making wheat, and 20,000 tons of feed wheat at today's EC tender. Okay, trade sources, blah, 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 blah. So these are the news that are in there, and this is the topic over there. All right, in that particular file. All right. So when you're working on projects, you have files that contains a lot of text in there, and these are the things that you do, okay, to be able to read those things that are in the file. All right, and then if I want to see the individual words in the selected file, right, I can do routers.words. Then I put in the file ID, which is this one, just like we saw earlier on here. Okay, so if I do that over here, you can see that we have French free market cereal export and so on and so forth. It's quite a long words in here, so you can see that it has been shortened over here, right? Because these words are quite a lot to junk all of them, right? But if we do this .send, right? If we do the .send, you can see all of them here, and it's going to because this is a sentence. Okay, we are seeing it according to sentences. It's going to junk it according to the sentences, right? Okay, so each of the sentences. So the first sentence starts from here. You can see start from here, and then the first period or the first full stop. Let's see where it is. All the way is here. Okay, so all the way to here, all the way to set. That is where it is. So you see that we have square bracket here and then another square bracket. So this square bracket is going to capture the first sentence. Okay, so it's gonna go all the way to somewhere where we have the set. Okay, all the way to set. You see that set is here and then full stop. That's where the bracket will close. Then it will start with another bracket, right? That is another sentence. Okay, that is another sentence all the way to. So the second sentence starts from let's see where they said it starts from 4. right? For all the way to let's see, right? For all the way to equals. Okay, so let's see. If you come here, you see that it's starting from, where is the bracket? Let's go all the way here. So starting from this 4 all the way to not this equals. Let's see. All the way to equals. This equals here. Okay, and then full stop is there. All right. So that's how it's gonna be. So if you want to see it according to sentences, you use the dot sent. If you want to see it according to words, you use the dot words. All right. Okay. Now we're going to do more things over here, right? Pre-processing, converting some things to lowercase, tokenization, removing stopwords, finding words, right? So we have previously seen tokenization, stopwords, right? So we're going to see them over here as well. All right. So now, over here, what we're going to do is that we're going to see all the words in the file, right? That are, lexicographically sorted. Okay. So we're going to say that set, meaning that we want only the unique words. Okay, set only the unique words. So we're going to find all the words that are in routers.words. Okay, and then we convert them to lowercase. All right, you convert them to lowercase. Okay, so if we run that, so you will see that all the words will be converted to lowercase. Right, we have some numbers over there as well, which it's not going to do anything because they are numbers. But if they are words, they are going to be converted to lowercase. So you can see that all the words are lowercase. All right, so it just as simple as that. Okay. w.lower for w in routers.words, right? That is word.lower for word in routers. So all the words in routers are going to be converted to lowercase, right? And we're going to have the unique words in there. Okay, so now we're going to see stop words, which previously we saw them, but let's do it more here. Let's do it again here just to reinforce our understanding. Okay, so we're downloading the NLTK stop words, and then we're going to import the stopwords from the corpus. All right, and then word list is going to be like this, and then we're going to go into our routers.words to pick all the words. Okay, we are representing that with W, and then we convert everything to lowercase. And once we do that, we're going to check if the words are not in the stopwords, right, the English stopwords. Then we're going to fetch them, and we're going to store it in word list. Okay, we're going to find all the words in the routers.words. Okay, we are representing that with W, then we convert it to lowercase, and then we see that if it's not, right, if it's not in stopwords, then we're going to save it. Okay, but if it's in the stopwords, we will not pick it. Okay, so if we do that, you see that we have these words which are not in the stopwords. Okay, so these ones are not in the stopwords, in the English stopwords. Okay, that's why we have them over here. All right. So the next one here we're going to do is tokenize. Okay, that is tokenization. All right, so for tokenization, we need to just import word tokenize. All right, and then once we import word tokenize from NLTK, we can now use word tokenize. Then we pass in our characters, so all the characters. So we are doing character tokenization. That's why we're using raw. But if we use word, then we're using word tokenization. Okay, and then we are storing everything in tokens. All right, and then here we're doing routers.words. Right, and then we are storing that one as word list. Okay, so this will be the tokens, but these are just going to be the word list right here. We are not doing anything on it. We are just fetching all the words in the routers.words. Okay, all right, so if we printed them out, these are the tokens that we have. Okay, these are all the tokens that we have, right? Just chunking them into small individual words like this. All right, so now what we're going to do is to do tagging. Okay, we're going to do those tagging. All right, that is part of speech tagging, right? And then we're also going to see chunking and chinking and syntax trees. Okay, we're going to see all those kind of things. All these are kind of things that we do when it comes to natural language processing, right? Pre-processing tests, to be specific. These are things that you do, so you need to get familiar with them. You need to be familiar with them so that you can use them in your own use cases. All right, so let's see how we do that. So I'm going to download WordNet, right? WordNet, and then I'm going to import WordNet as WN. Okay, which is going to help us. For WordNet, it's going to help us do the synonyms. Okay, so we're starting with the synonyms, right? So in WordNet, we can use that one to check synonyms of words. Right? So if we have a word like say trade, and we want to see the synonym. Synonym means words that are similar to the word that we want. Okay, so for instance, we have word trade, right? What are the other words that are similar to trade? Okay, so if you want to see something like that, you use WordNet, you import WordNet, you download the WordNet, you import it from the NLT.Corpus, okay? And then you do here, I'll just shorten it to WN. Okay, so I do WN.SynSet, that is synonymous sets, okay, synonyms of sets, right? And I'm checking trade. So once you do that, you'll be able to check the synonyms over here. So you see that trade is synonym to, it's synonymous to itself, right? We have trade and trade and trade over here, right? And then we have deal. Okay, you see that trade is synonymous to deal, it's synonymous to craft, right? It's synonymous to trade went, synonymous to butter. Okay, butter trade, right? And then trade itself, and it's synonymous to deal as well. Okay, so depending on the word, the particular word that you use, it's going to find the respective synonyms for you. Okay, so it's just as simple as that. Okay, it's just as simple as that. And you can just check a particular synonym. Okay, so for instance, you can pick any of these ones. I just pick for this one, trade.n. This one, trade.v.02. Okay, I just picked that one, which is trade, which is a verb. Okay, so we have trade, which is a noun, and then trade, which is a verb. I just picked that one, right, to check for its synonym, and then the synonym is trade in. Okay, so you can just be changing each one of these things and then be checking them as well. All right. Now, we can also find text with similar context, right? Text with similar context. That is, if you pick, for instance, rice, right? In which context can we actually see rice? Okay, so we can see rice in when we see wheat, right? It's likely that we will see rice. If we see corn, it's likely that we will see rice. If we see grain, it's likely that we see rice. Okay, if we see, say, soybeans, April, June, right? So some sort of context, some sort of season. Okay, that's the rainy season, right? That's when most of the time it rains, and that's when rice needs a lot of rain. So in that context, it's likely that we're going to see rice over there, right? So in the news, if they are reporting, right, during June, July, there around, it's likely that they will talk about rice when they're talking about business news that are related to cereals. Okay, so in that context, we will be able to see rice. Okay, these things are very important when we're talking about agriculture. It's possible that we will talk about rice over there, right? So we see rice in this particular kind of context. Okay, you can change your rice to something else to see, right, how it's going to come up. All right. Okay, so what we're going to also do the part of speech tagging, which we have already seen, but we're still going to do it over here. So I'm just downloading the average perception tagger, right? And then I'm using the NLTK dot part of speech tag, and then I'm passing in the tokens, which is the tokens that we generated earlier on, right? These kind of tokens, okay? These ones that we generated earlier on, and then we store them in tokens. Okay, so that's basically what I'm using over here, right? So when I pass it in, it's going to give me tokens for all of them. So French is being tagged as JJ, right? And you can just check it over here if you miss it. JJ is an adjective, okay? And then free is it's tagged as NNP, which is nothing but proper noun. Okay, serial NNP, which is proper noun, right? And so on and so forth. So you can see that we've been able to tag all the words, right? Tag all the words all the way down here. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing that we saw in the previous tutorial, or in the previous notebook, where I told you to read a bit about the regular expression, right? Because as I said, you're gonna need it as we move on. Okay, you're gonna need it over and over again, right? So make sure that you spend some few time to watch these two videos that I've given you. That's the regular expression 1 and then the regular expression 2. Okay, I've also given you a cheat sheet over here which contains all the regular expressions over there. But ideally, if you watch these two videos, you'll be able to understand what a regular expression is. Okay, you'll be able to understand that. So just spend some time, 10 to 15 minutes to read about this thing before you move on to the next thing that I'm going to talk about over here, because you can see that I'm using regular expression over here. Okay. All right, so let's get started over here. So what we're going to do here, as I said, we're going to use we're going to do parsing, right, using regular expression with chunking. All right, and then later on I'll show you how to do chunking as well. All right, So first, we need to define our pattern. Okay, if you remember the other notebook that we're doing part of speech tagging, right? We did the same thing, and then we define some sort of a rule. Okay, we did these kind of things. We defined some sort of a rule, and then that became our grammar that we followed. Okay. So we're doing the same thing over here, right? We're doing the same thing over here. Here we are defining the pattern or the grammar, if you want. Okay. We are defining the pattern. So we have noun phrase, then we have verb phrase over here. Okay, so let me explain that one to you, then we'll move on from there. So here you can see that we're having our curly bracket over here, which is going to contain the rules that we want. Okay, the rules that we want to form the grammar or the pattern. All right, so we are saying that we want VB followed by some one other character. Okay, some one other character. It's an optional character. It can be VBP or VB something. If you see what we have here, right? If we go all the way here, right here, you see that we have VB. We have just VB without anything. That is accepted, right? In our rule that we are writing, that is accepted, right? It can be VB something or VB nothing. It's optional. So it can be VBD, VBG, VBN, VBP, VBZ, right? Something like that. Okay. So that's basically what we are, the rule that we are setting over here. Okay. I think up here. That's the rule that we are setting here. Okay. So VB something. Okay. Right. And it's optional. Right. And meaning that at least there should be something here. Okay. There should be some VB something over here at least. Okay. And then here, anything else can come. Anything else can come after that. Okay. So we can have verb plus something. Okay, some verb plus something, and it could be verb plus whatever that comes, right? That one is not restricted to anything. The first one is restricted to verb, all right, which can be VB something or VB nothing plus something. Okay, and then here the noun, right? The noun phrase. What we are doing here is that we can start with DT, right? DT or RB something. Okay, or RB something. If you go and see the RB, it's also having something at the back there, right? Let's see. You see that we have RB without anything. Then we have RB with R, right? RBS, okay, something like that. So it can be RB with nothing or RB. Let me collapse this one. RB with S or something like that. Okay. So we've given it as an optional, which means that we can choose or we can leave it. Okay. And then here too, we have given these two, this DT and the entire thing here as optional. So we can come with this or we can come with this. Okay, it's an optional, right? And or we can come with VBG, okay, or VBG, right? VBG is nothing but if you see over here, VBG, right? VBG is verb, right? Verb, gerund, or present participle. Okay, so that's what we are. The grammar structure that we are setting. Okay, or it can come with JJ something, right? JJ something at the back, right, which is also optional. So if you see the JJ, right, JJ, we have let's go up, right? We have JJ with nothing or JJR or JJS. Okay, so you can come with just JJ or JJ with something or JJ with nothing. Okay, something like that. Okay, and then after that, and we have these things. Okay, so after that, you should follow NN with something or NN with nothing, which can be optional, or right, we have the pipe sign, which represents or PRP with something or PRP with nothing. Okay, but at least there should be something there. That's why the plus sign over there. At least there should be one of these things over there present. Okay, there should be something. Okay, so that's the structure of the grammar that we are setting. Okay, that's the structure of the grammar that we are setting. Okay, so now once that is done, then we have our sentence over here. Okay, and our sentence is what? And our sentence is a fastly running beautiful deer skied off the road. Okay, so that's the sentence that we have, right? So we're going to import the regex p parser, okay, and then we put in the pattern, right? Because this is a regular expression, so we need the regular expression parser to work on that. All right, then after that, we're storing everything in my parser, and we're going to use here, we're going to get all the sentence, right? Our sentence here, we need to tokenize it first, right? Once we tokenize it using the word underscore tokenize, then we do we tag it. Okay, we do part of speech tagging, right? We tag it, and then we now use the parser on that. Okay, we use the my parser, which is nothing but the rules that we have set over here. Okay, the rules that we have set over here, and then we have passed it into regular SpaCy. Right, we work on that. So now if we print it out, this what we have. Okay, we have the main sentence, which is followed by which is having two groups in there, right, which is noun phrase and then verb phrase. Okay, so it starts with which is DT, right, and then fastly, which is RB, then running, which is VBG, and then beautiful, which is JJ, and then dear, which is NN. Okay, which is NN, and then we have VP, which starts with skid, which starts with skidded, right, which is VBD, right, and then off, which is IN, and then we have either of these things to come. Okay, this one gives us a clearer picture over here. This is the tree that we have. Okay, so as I said, we're going to have this, right, syntax trees. So this syntax tree gives us a better visualization. So we have the syntax, which has been divided into two, which is noun phrase and then the verb phrase. Okay, so the noun phrase contains which is DT, right, determiner, and then fastly, running, beautiful, and dear. Okay, so fastly, running, beautiful, dear as one, which is a noun phrase, and then verb phrase is skidded off. Okay, and then another noun phrase here, which is the road. Okay, so you see how it has been chunked over here for us. Okay, so this is chunking, right? Chunking the sentences into different phrases according to the rules that we have set. Okay, according to the rules that we have set. All right, now we can also try another sentence over here, right? So we have a sentence which is I left to do my homework. Okay, so the code is just the same thing, right? The code is the same thing. We pass the pattern which we have set, which is the regular expression pattern, okay, into the the regular SpaCy, and then we first tokenize our words. We put a tag on them, right? We tag them using the part of speech tagger, and then we use the my parser on them, and then we store everything in the my parsed sentence over here, right? So let's see the tree, which makes it more understandable. So we have the sentence, right, which is X, divided into noun phrase and the verb phrase. So the noun phrase here is just I, okay, and then the verb phrase here is going to be left to do, okay, and then another noun phrase over here is going to be my homework. Okay, so this is how it is going to be chunked for us. Okay, now we're going to see it with chinking. Okay, chunking with chinking. Okay, we're going to see chunking with chinking, right? It's kind of funny names over here, but it is what it is. All right, so here is just the same thing that we saw earlier on, right? The new thing that I'm adding over here for the chinking is this one. So for the chinking, what you do is that instead of bracket opening and closing, right, like we have here, opening bracket and then close the bracket, here we first close the bracket and then open it. It's just kind of an opposite, counterintuitive over there, right? But it's just, that's the only thing that changes. The rest are just the same thing. The rules that you want to set inside there. Okay, all right, so the rest are just the rules. So here we wanted to start with, say, VGB, or we wanted to start with TO, and then anything else can come after that. Okay, so that is how you do chinking, right? Chinking is basically to exclude. Okay, we exclude, right? To exclude something. For instance, we want to exclude to do something. So in order to do that, you use something like that. Okay, so if you take off the verb, right, the verb gerund, and then you take out the to, right, that is the verb gerund, and then you take also the to, and then it means that you have been able to exclude it. So that's basically what you are doing over here, right? So if you check that one, you can see that here you have I left, right? I left here, but to do is also excluded. Okay, to do is excluded, and then my homework is here. Unlike this one, you see here we have I, and then left to do, right, and then my homework is here. But you can see that here, instead of left to do, you only have I left, but to do is excluded over here. All right, so that's chinking for you. We're going to see more of these things to make it more clear. As you work on more project cases, these things are going to be clear. If you learn it at first, it's kind of weird and it sounds quite unintuitive, right? But I understand that one. But as you do more, you're going to be familiar with it and you're going to understand it.